Brian Windhorst just called Julius Randle extraordinarily tradable. Let's talk about it. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to what Brian Windhorst said on his podcast where he called Julius Randle extraordinarily tradable. Of freaking course he did. Let's go to Windy and let's see what he said. Quote, because of that $29 million salary, he is extraordinarily tradable. The Knicks do still have a couple of first-round picks that they can move. We've got more quotes coming up from Brian Windhorst, but I just wanted to go to the comment section and pull this one out. Marshall, stop talking about a Randle trade. If Brian Windhorst of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, is going to talk about Julius Randle being traded, I've got a newsflash for you. I am going to talk about it because it is my job here as the channel owner of this show to talk about the latest news and rumors that surround this team. But another story right here. We do know that Julius Randle can shut down all trade rumors, right? We do know that if Julius Randle signs his name on the dotted line, we cannot do any more Julius Randle trade rumors. Brian Windhorst cannot talk about trading Julius Randle. Ian Begley, Fred Katz. Nobody can talk about trading Julius Randle if Julius Randle signs his contract extension, because that means he can't be traded from 6 months. And since today is September 3rd, 6 months from that is past the NBA trade deadline. So if you're upset for anybody when it comes to Julius Randle trade rumors, be mad at Julius, because he could have signed the contract. He could have signed the extension, which would have made him untradeable until the end of the 2024-2025 season. We would not be able to talk Julius Randle trade rumors until June of 2025. So don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at the peak. Be mad at Julius, because he hasn't signed that deal yet. Windhorst also says this. Randle earns a very attractive $29 million. His player option for next season is $31 million. His value, if he is 100%, is more than that. There is no reason why, if he is playing at the top of his game, why he shouldn't seriously consider opting out of that. For more reasons than one, and more reasons than his contract and how much money he may be able to get on the open market, this is the biggest year of Julius Randle's career. This is a huge season for Julius Randle. Going to be 30 years old in the month of November, coming off 2 major injuries, ankle surgery in the spring and summer of 2023, and then once again, major shoulder surgery in the summer of 2024. He has to prove he can stay healthy and that he is still that guy if he wants to sign a max contract. Windhorst added this. Randle is eligible for a 4-year, $181 million extension, not the max, but a significant number right now. However, the Knicks have to be careful with their salary commitments because of OG Anunoby. Even though Brunson is on a huge discount, that is a big salary on there. And they're going to have to extend Mikal Bridges as well. The question that I have to ask Julius Randle is this. What matters to you right now in your NBA career? How do you want to be remembered as a New York Knick? Look, I am not in any position to count somebody's pockets. That's not fair for me, and I'm not touching that type of bread. So that's also unfair. Like, I'm not someone that can sit up here and say, yo, turn down the extra $150 million. Like, no, that's not fair. But let's just outline it like this. If Julius Randle were to sign his extension right now, which would make him have a no-trade clause essentially until the end of the season this year, he would be making $45 million per season for the next 4 years. A 4-year, $181 million contract. Julius Randle does not sign that contract. And then he opts out of his player option and becomes a free agent at the end of the season. He could sign a 5-year, $313 million deal with the Knicks. $62.6 million per season. Both of these are a bunch of money. But let's fast forward to 2025, 2026. Let's look at the players that are on the books for a lot of money. OG Anunoby, $39.5 million. Jalen Brunson, $34.9 million. Mikal Bridges, $24.9 million. And then Josh Hart, $19.5 million. How are the New York Knicks going to be able to operate if Julius Randle signs that 5-year, $300 million plus contract and he's getting paid $45, $50 million in 2025, 2026? Randle signing a max contract this offseason to return to the Knicks, it limits what they can do roster construction-wise, trade-wise, free agent-wise, and any path they want to travel down to build this roster. Because if Randle signs that max extension, they are going to be a second apron team. And if you're a second apron team, that means the team you have is the team that you're going to have for a long time. I'm not demanding Julius Randle to take a discount. That's not fair. I am not someone that will do that. But after seeing Jalen Brunson do it, and supposedly Mikal Bridges is going to do it, why does Julius Randle get to make the max when he's not better than Jalen Brunson, he's not better than Mikal Bridges, and he's not better than OG Anunoby, who signed the max? Like, I'm not looking and saying, look, take the discount or you're out, but I think you got to ask Julius, do you want to make as much money as possible, or do you want to potentially have number 30 hanging in the rafters at Madison Square Garden? Because if Julius Randle, 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player, becomes an NBA champion with the New York Knicks, nobody ever will wear number 30 again. But I don't see the Knicks winning a championship with Julius Randle on this roster if he's making $60 million per year. Because it's going to be those 4 guys, those 5 guys, and that's it. Bye-bye to Mitchell Robinson. What are you going to do with DiVincenzo? Like, do you want to win? You want to be a legend? Or do you want to be super rich? You're already super rich. I don't know. My question to you is this. Is Julius Randle on the Knicks next season, as in the start of 2025? 2025, 2026. Is Randle on the Knicks that year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to try to sit in the seat of general manager and head basketball operations Leon Rose's office and try to figure out what he is going to do and why he is going to do that. Coming up next, what to do with Julius Randle. But first, make sure you are hooked up with our proud ticketing sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase. If you're looking to get tickets to an upcoming game this season for the Knicks, maybe you want to go catch week 1 of a Giants or Jets game. Maybe you want to go catch the Yankees or Mets before the summer is over. You could do all that with Game Time. Get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. You get to see your seat view from inside the app. You get to access your tickets from your phone and easy resell of your tickets. Last-minute tickets and flash deals. Views from the seats. And, oh, yeah, lowest price guaranteed. Game Time, they care about their customers, and that is something that I will always, always appreciate. Make sure when you are looking for tickets, you're using the all-in pricing feature. That way the price that you see is the price that you pay. Game Time doesn't smack you across the head with all the hidden fees once you get to checkout. They take care of you because they value their customers. So support the show, support the sponsor, be a real one. Knicks games, Giants games, Yankees games, concerts, theater events, and so much more. Download the app, create an account, use that promo code, CHATSPORTS, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. What time is it? Game time. Be a real one. Support the show. Support the sponsor. All righty. Let's talk Julius Randle. Number one, Julius Randle went from being overrated to maybe the most underrated player in basketball. Again, he was an all-star this year for the 3rd time as a Knick. He was going to be another All-NBA member this year if he did not get hurt. 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star with one organization. Not a lot of people in the NBA can say that. Also, not a lot of people in the NBA can say I can walk out of bed tired, hurt shoulder, hurt ankle, and I'm going to get you 24, 10, and 5 on 45% from the field. There's not many people walking this earth that can do that. There's a reason why he has been a 3-time All-Star and a 2-time All-NBA player with the New York Knicks. Julius Randle has been one of the best regular season players since becoming a New York Knick in this league, especially the last 3 seasons. But let's also keep it honest. He is very limited as a basketball player for everything that he does well, for all the reasons that he is great, for the way people look at him as an All-Star and an All-NBA player. He is very limited because he can only really play the power forward position. He doesn't give you much lineup versatility. He can't play the 3. I don't think Tom Thibodeau is going to play him at the 5 all that much. Maybe they try that out this year, but is he going to be successful enough there for Tibbs to continuously do that? So you have an extremely offensive skilled player, but on defense you have a, I would say, negative player. And you know what? You want to call me a hater for that? So what? I've watched every game for the Knicks the last 3 years. I feel confident in my take there. So you have a guy that can only play power forward, limit your line of versatility. He's not a good defender. So how are you supposed to become an elite, versatile, multiple positionless defensive team? And let's be honest, is his IQ all the way there as a basketball player? Yeah, he'll average a lot of turnovers. Is he a great shooter? He's very limited as a player, but also very, very good at what he does makes him great. What he doesn't do also makes him very limited. Also, team control. If you think for a second that Leon Rose, Worldwide West, Brock Aller, Gerson Rosas, and all of the powerful decision makers for the Knicks have not all sat together in a room and looked at each other and said, yo, we just saw Paul George, PG-13, leave the Los Angeles Clippers for nothing. And we could be in a spot, if Randle doesn't sign his contract extension, we don't trade Randle, that he is going to be an unrestricted free agent in 2025, and he could do the exact same thing. I promise you the Knicks have thought about what they are going to do, and probably one of the last things they want to do is enter free agency with a chance to let him leave for nothing. I wanted to bring up this quote from Bill Belichick. It's better to let a player go a year too early than a year too late. How does that tie in to the New York Knicks? Because maybe now is the time to move off of Julius Randle. Going to be 30 in November. 2 major surgeries, ankle and shoulder. And what if he plays just good enough to see his market go up, but the results of the team does not change? You're going to be kicking yourself if he leaves for nothing, saying, we could have traded him for somebody. We just saw him walk out the door for nothing. But the main question is always going to be this until he does it. Can he get it done in the playoffs? Can regular season Randle show up in the postseason? I said it once. I've said it twice. I will always stand by it. If regular season Randle shows up in the playoffs, the Knicks will be NBA champions. If the Knicks add Mikal Bridges and a 25, 10, and 5 Julius Randle on 45% to that playoff team last year, they win the NBA championship. If you add them this year, they win the NBA championship. But if you have the player out there that in his career playoffs, over 15 games, averages 17 points, more turnovers than assists, and 34% from the field and 28% from three, you are not winning an NBA championship. Look, you can make every excuse in the world for Julius Randle, and some of them are right. That team he played on against the Hawks was terrible. He was relying on Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton, and Nerlens Noel. He was hurt against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was hurt against the Miami Heat. All of those things can be true. But let's look at this year. It will never be easier. The job of Julius Randle, being a productive player in the NBA, will never be easier than it is right now, especially in the playoffs. Because teams are now more worried about Jalen Brunson than Julius Randle. Teams are just as worried about Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby as they are to Julius Randle. And off the bench, DiVincenzo. We saw the continuity that Randle and DiVincenzo had. Sprays the floor, lets him cook more. Josh Hart and Randle always play good together. He doesn't need to be a superstar. He doesn't need to be an all-NBA player. He doesn't need to be an all-star. Can I get 18 and 10 and 5 on 52% from the deck and 34% from three? I don't need step-back twos. I don't need baseline fadeaways. Let the gameplay come to you. It will never be easier as an NBA player than Julius Randle for this year. It also will not be easy for Leon Rose to make a decision. And he needs to be right on this one, because this might be the most difficult and the most important decision he is going to have to make since he became the face of New York Knicks basketball operations. Do you trade him now? Do you wait? Do you see him if he can gel? What if he plays bad this year and then he opts into $31 million and he's on the books for next year? This thing could go a million trillion different ways. The only thing that matters is that Leon Rose gets it right. And I'm not exactly sure what the right decision is right now. Maybe I'll leave it up to you. Is Julius Randle on the New York Knicks at the start of next season? Why for yes and for no? Let me know your thoughts, and make sure you are following me over on social media. Trying to grow my game over there. If you want to talk Julius Randle, I'm always down at @MarshallGreen_, at @MarshallGreen_, Twitter, IG. Call me a hater. Let's talk about it. We'll talk facts, because that's what this is all about.